everybody, it's Tuesday and we're here for Tuesday Sewing, and as promised yesterday I'm starting a new project. The other one is nearly finished. I'm just doing a little bit of finishing stitching to it, and I'll show you that when it's finished, and that's going to be the cover for my edgings journal. But today I wanted to start this new project ready for doing my first design team project for Tracy Fox Creative, and I'm really excited about it. And I thought today we'd go through how my thinking processes of starting a new cover, sewn cover or sewn elements or wrap around. We have done those. I have done those before. And I thought, actually, let's just bring this one in. This is sort of, this was my Sew for the Soul book. So this is the cover that I did for Sew for the Soul book, and it all has to start somewhere with my thought processes. So I thought today that's what we'd start looking at. Now my project, as I said yesterday, my design team project is going to be quite old in its style, because we got this in our stash, and it's a wonderful hardback. It's called the Traveller's Guide, and I love all the edging, and but it's in a bit of a mess, and yeah, look, it's in a bit of a mess, so it needs a bit of TLC. There's some wonderful pages in it. The font is gorgeous. There's loads of different fonts. The problem is it's from the 1800s, and it is a book that was given to soldiers, and it is very much looking at the scriptures and the teachings of Jesus, but in a very how can we put it, very single-minded way. And it's very, I don't know, some of the pages I didn't feel that would be suitable. You know, everybody will be hell and damnation on everybody, and really the tone of the book was like that. And I thought, these poor soldiers, you know, that far from home, and they're given this book to comfort them, and it's, oh, you be damned and they be damned, and a bit too forthright in that way. So I am using some of the pages, but I'm not showing the kits I'm using yet. I want to do a wraparound, sewn wraparound for this. Now I don't always use sewn covers, as you know, but I'm going to I've cut this off. I love this frill. It says Art of the Loom, Chatsworth, and Chatsworth itself, as in Chatsworth House, is a stately home in the UK in Derbyshire, and very much a big part of my childhood in an area, Derbyshire. We used to spend a lot of time in Derbyshire, and Chatsworth's got the most wonderful gardens, etc. And so I just thought that would be good, because it's going back in time. I'm just taking these strands off, and I'm saving them, Nola, because she said they'd be lovely strands on a paper clip, so I'm saving those. I don't need as much as this, and what I want is for it to wrap around, and there's nothing on the back, see, so I don't want it to be so large that it covers. I'm just trying to see where I'd want the edging. Okay, I don't want it to cover this lovely floral area, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off here, in fact here, because that can be used somewhere else. And I think that then gives us, it's not going to be over big. Even if it went to there, we've still got enough room. So that's what I want to use. And we don't want anything too modern. I've not got, if you recall that if you've watched my flip through of my Renaissance journal, I think it was the Renaissance journal that was in the old embroidery book. I think it's one that you got, Karina. I did a wraparound sewn cover, and what my intention is, I want it to sort of be adhered to the spine from there, but then be able to open it, and you could, you know, you can still see, you could perhaps stick it to there and you could still see that. So that is my thinking behind that. Okay, so this is the cover for my design team project. So what I want to do now is to look at what sorts of things I'd fancy putting on. Now, I'm very much an impromptu, sorry, I must have a drink. I'm very much an impromptu sewer. I don't always plan everything from the beginning. I don't always sew in straight lines or anything like that. So what I've gathered about me is I've got some bags that I like split into colour tones. So these are more beiges and vintage bits and bobs. These are more of the whites, which I think is going to be a little bit too white for this project unless I tea dye it. So I think I'm going to discount that for now, and I'm going to have a rummage in here and see exactly what I've got in here. I just like to put similar sorts of things together so that when I come to do a project like this, then I've got it to hand. Now, this is a piece from Rachel, Roxy Creations, and this was from one of the, got my right scissors, from one of her fabric packs. Same with all the hemp and stuff. I think she's struggling to get a lot of it at the moment since we've had the pandemic. So it is precious. I'm just cutting round this because I definitely think I want to use these. It's got a mild pattern on the back here, so I'm going to cover it all up, but I probably would like to cover some of it now. I quite like that there with that little itty bit going down there, so I'm just going to pin that on for now. So it's a matter of really placing a few things and then going from there. Let's have a look at this piece. Is it going to be too white? I'm going to cut that round there. And that's a nice little edging that I think would look pretty. So I'm going to do that there, pin that on there. Okay, not sure about those at the minute, those pieces. Let's have a look what else. There are those. I've got some really old a piece of embroidery of my own, but I don't think it goes with that. So it's a matter of really, and its own preference. There's some little itty bits here. Bits of string we can couch on later. Let's have a look what I've got on here. See, you won't even keep a scrap that big, would you? I love this. It says 31 on it. That is lovely. I'm having that on there. So that can go there. I don't know what it was 31 of, but yeah, look at the size of these bits. I do like a lot of the like Hessian and burlaps, you know, more of a natural theme to it. I'm going, oh, I love that. Do we want to pop a colour on it? I don't know yet. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to have a strip of this on. There we go. Let's just fray that a bit more. Look at this top. I love this. This is how it's really dark at the top fraying, and the bottom's really a lot lighter and furry. I'm going to put that. Do I want it up at the top for a change? Yeah. We can always move these around, can't we, as we're sewing. Love that. That's a bit of dyed cotton. In fact, I've used this before, and I think it was some of this. Don't judge, I'm getting all my treasures out now. Yeah, it was a bit of this. This coloration, this is actually hand stamped Indian cotton, but I just love the coloration in between the pattern. Look, it's got a lovely coloration in it. So I'm going to have a bit of this, and you can use both sides. I've got quite a bit of this. I've used it in a few things, and let's see there. And across there we will have the lighter side, and then down there we'll have some of this dark. So you can see, if I find something that's the right coloration, then I'm going to use it. And this is lovely colours in it, with it being hand dyed. So let's have a look at this. I think we will put that there. Now I want a bit higher up so you can see the patterning of that. You can see all different weaving in this as well, different textures. That's woven different to this at this end. So we've got that little piece there, which actually I've changed my mind. I'm going to have it there, I think. Let's have it there. And then this piece, I'm going to cut like that, I think, so that it's like that. I might change my mind, but for now I'm sort of liking that. Okay, I've got them all pinned now. Yes, so for now that'll be fine. I don't want to really put any more on it. But because I've got my coloration, and this is why I do it. Look at this grungy. I think that's probably a bit too orangey grungy for it, but some I dyed myself. Let's have a look. There's a little bit of Italian hemp here, again from a pack from Rachel. Very thick, but gorgeous, really old. Might have that there. I still want a bit of fringing, but for now I might have that there. Okay, this I might put on later, or I might not. I've been hoarding this. This is just gorgeous. That's some really vintage English lace, cotton lace. Right, okay, so that's those bits. So then I start thinking about colours of threads and things like that. So I've got out my trusty bag of all sorts, just cheap thread from Amazon, which if you're doing an impromptu piece like this, I find it's good enough. It's stranded thread. You don't need to buy expensive thread when you're doing pieces like this for junk journals. There's no point, you know. If you're doing a beautiful embroidered piece, then yes, I can understand that. So colour palette wise, we have got plenty here that would fit in. And then also I may want a pop of green in there, because we've got, it's finding the right colour. I may have to use something else, some other yarn. Let's have a look at that. No, it's more of a brown sludgy green, I think, but I still quite like that. We'll think about that. So I'll get those colours out, and I sort of put everything in a little baggie then for this project. Anything in here? I've got some linen, so I'd like to use that, some thin fine linen thread, and any more colours in there. That's like a sludgy brown. So yeah, that's those. I'll leave my snippers out there. So that is sort of a little selection of threads that I want to use. And then I look at my specials. So is there anything in my perlé? These are my more expensive, which you perhaps would put a small amount on. You know, like I said, you don't want to, and I don't like that. It's too toffee. And I don't like that. So out of those, no, I don't like those. Then I'm going to have a look in my metallics, because I thought a little bit of gold thread would be nice, because we've got gold on the cover there. So let's have a look what I've got in here. Got all sorts. That's gorgeous. I'm hoarding that. That's lovely. That's about the gold, I think. That's a nice, very, very fine. Oh, it's really old, that. Imported from Germany. Luster. Some of these my auntie gave me years ago, and so the 2 copper. Anything else I want in here? Might a little bit of that, like a rose gold. So that is the specials. And then I look to see if I want to put any buttons on. Well, this is obviously a vintage piece. I did have some really old buttons in here. That's some nice thread for couching. I want to do some couching. Again, that's a more neutral, it's same as what we've got. It's a nice bit of grungy stuff there. Yeah, I'll look at that in a bit. So my buttons aren't in there that I was thinking. The other thing is there's some old twine that might do well as to go in with it. Anything else I can think of at the moment? Buttons. if you're doing a more modern piece, you'd look at things like, do you want to add safety pins, paper clips, any little charms, all that sort of thing. But I think for now we have got a good selection here for starting. So I just get a little project bag then, plastic one out my stash when I can't find them. Yeah, there we go. Just the supermarket, that says card scraps, but that will do us. Just from the supermarket, freezer bags are great for this sort of thing. And I just then put everything inside this baggie to get in my little basket, and I'll keep my bag of coloured bits and bobs. There's some lace and things that we might want to add later on. So I would keep this together with all these in my little baggie for this particular project. Okay, I'm just going to bring in my, see if there's any buttons that I like the look of while we're thinking about it. These are my really old favourites, actually, these. So do I want loads on? Do I want just a few? Look at these. These are actually proper Art Deco, from Art Deco. Oh, this has got green all over. I had a bit of a nightmare yesterday. I was trying to open a new mica spray in green. I haven't had mica sprays before. I thought I'd have a go. And this green went everywhere. It's now must be on something I'm touching. It's gone all over the carpet. Oh lordy, all over my seat. The carpet is beige with green flecks now. Oh, yeah. I've made a right mess. And I'm just thinking I've got some on my hand. I don't know where from. Anyway, let's have a look at some unusual beads that I think, buttons even, that I think will go nice with this. Now I love that one. Love that one. And I love that one. Well, that looks good in the middle of there. That's gorgeous. And I love this one. Look at this one. So that I think would be nice, although it's more industrial looking. That one. Now I've got my favourite one. There's that, which I think, an actual fact, that might be nice on there, and do like a wrap around. That'd be what it wraps around. I think that would be good. Look at this. Another one of my faves. Oh. So I'll just get a few. An old linen button there, so we could use that. There's a lovely flower one of it now. I want it to be a little bit more masculine in feel, this particular one. Don't want that on. And that's I think that's a nice one. So we'll look at those tones. That's a really old linen one. And that is off an old stud collar. So actual fact, that's maybe a bit orange. Maybe a nice one on there. Yeah, let's look for something a bit more neutral. This I think would be good. This is for doing the old stud collars as well, what they used to have in Victorian times. That used to fit onto the collar. So I think actually I'm going to sew that on there, and then it'll be good for a wraparound fastening. So that one for now, I think. and I need to fetch some more out of the loft. Oh, look at that. That's a lovely itty bitty. That can go in it. I love that. I've got boxes full in the loft. You know what I'm like for ordering, Nola? How small the mini lunch bags came. Well, I got about, I don't know how many kilograms of buttons I ended up with. Vintage buttons off eBay. They're coming out as ears. They're in the loft. Right, okay. No, I only like those. So I'm not going to push it and try and force myself to like others. So that's those ones. I'm happy with those. So they're going to go in my little bag. I had some cream ones, but I don't know where they've gone. And as I say in here, we've got some lace and things that would go really nicely. Some very fine lace, actually. I'm going to get that out there, I think. About that. Too grungy. Yeah, don't want that. Okay. Okay then, so that's a short one today, because we've got to go off to the opticians and get our eyes tested, and a load of tests and things have not been done for a long while. And yeah, so it's a short one today, but hope it's a short and an interesting one. Just so you could get in to look at my thought processes when I'm setting up a new project. And we will start, you know, I'll start doing a little bit of this off camera, but we will be in full swing with it by next week. And we will bring the pick jar in next week, so you know we've got an element of surprise in it. I've got plenty to go at, haven't I, in here, hopefully to fit in with my colour scheme. And that's rolled off. And yes, give you a chance for you to get a few supplies if you're wanting to do this, just to wrap around for one of your journals. Then get all your bits and bobs together, and I will see you back here next Tuesday for sewing. But I'm here on Thursday, and yeah, we'll be doing some journaling stuff Thursday. All right then, stay safe out there. Bye for now.